Hey guys, so today I'm going to be bringing you my second commentary, and this time featuring Twisted Fate. Now he's pretty much a Flavour of the Month champion right now, and he's really good for solo queue, so I thought I would feature him here. Let me just press play very quickly. There we go. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about in my runes. So I do run movement speed Quints, because running after people and carding them is extremely important on TF, and also getting away. He's got no innate escape, so the extra movement speed really does help. I'm running Magic Pen Reds. I'm using 3 armour seals and the rest Mana Regen, and I'm using Magic Resist Blues. Now the reason I'm using 3 armour seals instead of just a full Mana Regen page is because of Twisted Fate's blue card. He doesn't need Mana Regen as much as other mid champions, but I do still like to have it just in case. It lets me go a little bit more aggressive as I don't have to pull blue cards all the time. So as you can see, I actually grabbed a drink at the start of this game, so I'm going to speed this up right now. So the first thing I'll talk about is the matchup. So I'm playing against Ari, and it's probably a favourable matchup for Ari. As I'm talking, I'm going to switch these around. I forgot to do that. Sorry about that. So it's a pretty favourable matchup for Ari because she can go so aggressive in lane. She's really good at killing other mid laners, and Tiff is pretty weak in lane. He's mainly there for his ultimate. He's not there to win lane. So I'm going to slow it down again now. I'm just going to help jungler with the wolves. I'm going to red card because it helps the jungler clear quicker and take less damage from the jungle. So as I was saying, Ahri's going to be really strong. The key to beating Ahri is just to dodge her skill shots. Now it sounds pretty simple, but her Q is pretty much all of her damage in lane. So if you can dodge that Q, then you can pretty much beat Ahri. I actually picked Twisted Fate into Ahri because I think I can probably outplay her and just dodge. And Twisted Fate isn't as bad as people think in lane, so he's actually reasonably strong if you manage to dodge everything. Obviously he's very squishy, so you have to be careful. If you take too much harass, you can pretty much die. Like, she can probably kill me at level 6 from about 70%, which is a huge amount, and it's one of the reasons why I did take Barry this game as well. So at the moment I'm just going to be looking to last hit. So you see at the very start I kind of stood back from the wave. I didn't know where Ahri was. I didn't want to get ganked early from either side. But I did ping onto blue to let them know that Malphite started blue. And here I waited in the brush until I went to ward, and then waited until I was going to hit level 2. As soon as the minion was about to die, I knew I wasn't going to get the CS anyway. I hit level 2. I wasn't expecting it, so I meant I got a free trade with her. She was still level 1, so I only had her Q, and I could just stun card her and then follow up my Q for a little bit of harass. So normally I would start boots on Twisted Fate, especially against Ahri, who's a skill shot champion. But in the last couple of games I've been camped so much mid lane, I just got extremely frustrated and decided to buy a ward. And the best mid lane to start with wards is either going to be a mana pendant like Ahri went, or it's going to be a flask. Now wouldn't build the tier or chalice or anything like that, so there's no point buying the mana pendant because I'm not going to turn it into anything. So the flask is actually a lot better for me. So as you see, I'm just going to keep farming with my W, obviously, as that just gives me mana back. It does the most damage out of all of the cards as well. So Ahri is playing pretty passively, which means I can probably take advantage of her if she comes too close. I'll try and card onto her if she goes for last hit, but the only way I can really do that is if she burns her Q cooldown. When her Q's on cooldown, she's got really nothing left, so if she uses it to farm, then I can go aggressive onto her. So you see when I take damage, it's pretty horrific. She actually does hurt me quite a bit, and that's only 1 Q at like level 2 or rank 2, sorry. So I'm just going to try and use like red cards here to push the lane and equalize it out. Azin's going to come for a gank, and it blows her flash, which is really good for me. So it normally pretty much means that Ahri can't kill me anymore because I've taken the barrier. She'd need to probably flash to finish me off because of the barrier and the extra health that it grants me. So one way of losing to Ahri, like really easily, is going to be if she pushes you to tower. It lets you've got no minions to hide behind, so she can just EQ you, and it's just a really effective way of killing you. So I tried to keep the wave kind of in the middle. I'm just going to keep pressuring Ahri. She's got no boots, so there's no real need to pick a gold card there to get her, because I'm pretty confident I can aim my Q well enough to hit her. Now, she's got no boots, obviously, so that's pretty much the only reason. If she had boots, I would gold card her, because I wouldn't be able to hit her otherwise. But as you see, I kind of pushed her out of lane there. It was good of Zin to gank. It blew some of her health potions and her mana, so she didn't have enough mana to have enough kill potential on me. So right here, I'm just going to keep farming. Now, the what you really want to do on Twisted Fate early is get level 6, go back, buy a Sheen, and then gank bottom or top. Now I prefer to gank bottom because I think it snowballs harder, and as an AD player I love it when a mid lane camps my lane and feeds me kills. So I'm just going to keep going. As you can see now, I believe I have enough for a Sheen. Yeah, so I pretty much have enough for a Sheen now, and I could go back and buy that. So I'm about to hit 6 off the next wave. So after that's there, I could go back, but it's going to depend on where bot lane is. So what I mean by that is, if bot lane's pushed up, then I can obviously go back and I can gank because I can get behind them. But if their bot lane is playing really defensively, then there's no point me ganking because I'm not really going to get anything. By the time I get down there, they would probably have been back to their tower. Especially if they have flash, then it's just going to be a wasted cooldown. So at this point I hit 6 and I'm going to look at bot lane. So we have a look down there, and you can see that they're like pushed so far that there's nothing I can get there. So I think about going back here, but decide not to because I'm actually going to have a look at bot lane there at that point and see that there's nothing I can get from going down there. So I'm just going to keep pushing and get some more money. So the first 2 core items on Twisted Fate, I would argue in any build, no matter what build you go for, is going to be boots and a Sheen, because Sheen gives you an absolute ton of early damage, so it's really good for when you're ganking lanes. And boots is just really good because movement speed is so great on Twisted Fate. It allows him to catch up to people and it allows him to card them really well. So at this point I'm going to go back because I'm kind of a little bit low, and Ari's hit 6 now, and she does have her Ignite still, so she got a bit more kill potential on me. I've also got enough for a Sheen and boots. I just bought them, there you go. So that's my 2 core items on the first back, which means I'm doing really well at the moment. I'm really far ahead. So I'm having a look bot. There's nothing I can really do because I'm still a bit too far pushed up. There's kind of the middle lane in every lane, which is where it's safe for you. If you go past that middle lane, that's opening you up to get ganked. I just realised I've left the vision on, so I apologise about that. Wrong one. Sorry about that. So as you can see, I don't know where Ari is, and I'm just going to ping to let Renekton know that she could be going top. After blue, this would be a perfect opportunity to me to go bot, but they're still a little bit too pushed. I'm going to have a look down there and see if I can go. So we'll have a quick look. Now, Lulu gets a polymorph here and a slow, which means that's kind of my cue to go in. Fortunately, he's going to barrier, and we don't get anything from this, but it does give complete control to Misfortune. So even though some people would view that as a waste, actually that gives a lot of lane pressure to Misfortune. Now, Varus has no kill potential on Misfortune, and if you look at her now, she's bullying him so much just because I moved in for that gank. So it's actually a really worthwhile. They're going to miss out on a couple of waves. Misfortune's going to get a lead, even though we didn't actually pick up a kill. So I'm just going to go back and I'm going to farm now. Obviously, my ultimate's got a 70-second cooldown, and you pretty much play Twisted Fate just for the ultimate. So I've got to be aware now that I can't really do anything. I've just got to farm, get some money. You see that I'm pretty even with Ari, and by this point in the game, about like after your first back, about 8 minutes in, you kind of know what your lane opponent's going to be like. So there are 2, in my opinion, types of players. There's going to be ones that are passive and just want to farm, and this Ari is actually kind of one of those people, even though she's playing Ari, which is a little bit strange. And there's going to be the ones that just want to kill you over and over again. They don't care about farm. They just want to rack up their kills. So because Ari is pretty passive, I'm going to be playing a bit more aggressive now. Obviously, Ari does do well against Twisted Fate, but she's not really going aggressive on me. She's using her Q to farm the wave. So that's kind of my cue that she's not going to be attacking me. She doesn't want to kill me. So I can do well in carding her and just trying to get a Q off every now and again. So as you can see, she's actually tanked like the wave. And now it is a reasonably good idea to not let it get to tower, because most AP champions, as I said before, aren't very good at getting farm under turret. But what Ari just did there was take like half of her health, or 25% of her health in minion damage, to keep it away from the turret. Now it's a little bit silly, and right here I'm just looking to go top because I think Malphite's going to be there. So as you see, like Renekton actually dived Jax. 9 times out of 10 when you dive someone like that, especially this early into the game, they're going to be screaming at their jungler to come and help them, and that's normally what's going to happen. So you have to be really careful, and I pretty much just wanted to use my ultimate there for a counter gank. So there are 2 ways you can use Twisted Fate's ultimate. That's either going to be as a counter gank or as like an initiating a gank. So the counter ganking is actually way more effective than ganking 9 times out of 10, because it means that you can turn around a gank and you're probably going to get more kills. So you see here Malphite's coming. I see he's 6 and I know that he's going to ultimate me. I'm not Asian, so I don't have amazing reaction speeds, but I anticipated the Malphite ult coming at me, so it meant that I was prepared for it and I could just flash away. If I wasn't prepared for it, like if he'd just come from the brush and I was standing right there, I didn't see him coming, I probably wouldn't have been able to flash that. But I'm going to blow Ari's ult here. Now, she's a little bit silly because she came back after taking so much damage. She gets a good charm there. I'm going to walk to the side and dodge the second part of her Q, because that second part does true damage, so it's even more painful than the first half. But as I was saying, so I managed to flash the Malphite Q, which is good. But the counter ganking on your ultimate is normally a lot better, because it means that you can turn around a gank and you have a higher potential of getting a kill because the other team is going aggressive. Now, when like you're trying to gank, they could just be farming, and so they may just get away. But if they've committed to a fire, then it's most likely going to be you be able to pick up a kill. So I'm going to go top here and try and pick up a kill on Jax. Now, unfortunately, I'm actually most likely going to die here. I think Malphite flashes onto my face when I'm drawing a gold card, and I really didn't expect him to flash onto me. I didn't expect it to be up. Renekton didn't play that particularly well, because he should have probably gone a bit more aggressive early when he knew that I was coming, but he kind of backed off too much and let Malphite just absolutely rape me. I'm going to speed this up while I'm dead. So I'm just going to go back to lane. You can see I've got 90 seconds on my ultimate, so I haven't really got anything to do except farm again. But I have picked up my tier 2 boots and a Doran's ring. So boots give, basically when you're buying for mid lane, there are two types of buyers. So you can either buy AP, which gives you damage on champions, but it also gives you more damage on minions. So if you're looking to clear a wave, it's better to buy AP. If you're looking to damage champions, it's better to buy a magic pen. So when you're tier 2 boots, I'm looking to gank now and I'm looking to kill people. So magic pen is actually a lot better than straight AP for that, which is why I picked up those sort boots. Now, when you're damaging turrets with Twisted Fate, you just need to be aware of which card is best for the situation. So 9 times out of 10, that's going to be your blue card, because it does the most natural damage. So you'll do the most damage to the turret, and it also gives you mana back, so you're not draining any mana. Now, red card does the second most damage, and obviously attack hurts everyone around it. So if you're trying to clear the wave at the same time, that can be a good. Gold card is pretty like a waste onto a turret. It doesn't really grant you anything. You can't stun a turret, unfortunately. It does the least amount of damage. Now, I've tanked 2 Qs from Ari, which is bad of me, and at this point she can actually kill me. So I'm just going to back off and I'm going to farm under my turret. It's not ideal, but Twisted Fate is reasonably good. So I managed to only miss 1, which is good. Now, looking bot, this is prime gank material here for Twisted Fate, because they're pushed up really far. Alistair was looking to fight there, so they kind of back off because Ari pings here, but this would be a really easy gank for me. So I'm just going to pick up my blue and then I'm going to try and go bottom. Now, the only problem with like ganking with Twisted Fate is that when you don't have any wards, it's pretty dangerous. So as you can see, I can't see Ari anymore. So my instincts are telling me that Ari thinks I've gone bottom, so Ari's going to go bottom as well. So if I ultimate him, Ari could turn that gank around once we've used all our cooldowns, and it'd get pretty messy for us. So instead, I'm going to go back and I'm going to farm mid lane. I'm going to wait for Ari to appear on the map. Now, I'm pretty sure she's going to be bottom, which is why Zin's gone down there as well. So if we have a look, yep, Ari's there. And as soon as she appears, I move from top and I'm going to port down. Now, I could have chased Alistair into the river with MF, but instead I go for these 2 people here to try and pick up a double kill. As you can see, I'm tanking turret, and I would have died there if I didn't have my barrier. But the reason I stay so long is because I do have my barrier. I managed to pick up 2 kills. I believe we're going to pick up Dragunov for this as well. So I'm just going to speed this up very quickly while I talk about why barrier. So I find that TF doesn't have any kill potential in lane, or very little, unless I'm playing against a really inexperienced person and they don't know how to play against Twisted Fate, which is very rare now because he's so flavour of the month. Everyone knows how he cards. Okay, that was wasn't expecting that. I don't remember Malphite ulting over the wall. I guess that was a little bit of a waste by him because his ultimate cooldown is so high, but he did pick up a kill, so fair play to him. Let me just speed this up again. So the barrier because there's not much kill potential, and when the only kill potential I have is when I gank the side lane, there should be enough damage from the side lanes to not need an ignite. So barrier just gives me so much more protection in team fights. It gives me more protection in lane, especially against a kill lane such as Ahri. And it also means that I can pull off plays like that with a tower dive. Now, because Renekton's taken his top tower, I've actually told him to come mid, and we're going to try and blow Ahri's ult here, which he does, which is good. And then we're going to try and get the turret. So Ahri's really weak without her ultimate, which means that we could probably dive her if she stays. And it basically relieves a lot of pressure. I mean, she can't defend anymore, and we're going to get this tower for free, especially as how much damage I did to it earlier. So Xin reckons she's going to go for a blue, and he's absolutely right, which is a really good play by him. So we've obviously blown our ultimate now. I'm going to port in and block her exit, and we're going to pick up a really easy kill. So one of the important mechanics to talk about Twisted Fate is his card picking. So obviously I'm sure people have seen the Reginald video where he absolutely mucks it up, and it's pretty bad because there is a specific order that cards come out in every time. So if you didn't know, it always goes blue, red, yellow. So no matter what card you start on, it's always in that rotation. So if you pick a red card to start with, then yellow is going to be next. If you pick a yellow card, you know, blue is going to be next. As I said before, I'm not Asian, I don't have incredible reaction times, but by anticipating what card's coming next, or knowing what card's coming next, I can quite easily pick that card. So the other mechanic with Twisted Fate that you need to master is his use of his ultimate. So when your ultimate, using your ultimate, let me just see if I pick up this kill. So I'm going to just gold card quickly and pick up a Q. I'm not going to tank it because I don't have barrier and I'm just a squishy Twisted Fate. So fortunately don't pick it up. But again, Malphite's level 11, so his ultimate cooldown is not too bad. So it wasn't a particularly bad play, but he definitely needs to be using this to try and snowball advantages with other people, not just himself. Anyway, so as I was saying with his ultimate, a lot of players will pick a card before they press their ultimate, before they press Destiny, and before they portal to their destination. So what that means is that your card, is going to have a less duration, because obviously it has a lifespan. So say it's like 5 seconds, and I'm just putting this number as an example. Then if you've pulled it 2 seconds before you arrive at your destination, you've only got 3 seconds to use it. Now what you can actually do is you press R to start with, you then click your destination, and once you've clicked it, you then press your W, and you can pick a card, and you'll still like end up in the destination with it and be able to use it on the person straight away, but you'll have an extra couple of seconds on the duration in case you have to chase someone. So what I mean by that, so if you haven't noticed, when you're on Twisted Fate's toolbar, so down the bottom, if you're bottom left, when you activate W, it goes a different color every time a different card is picked above Twisted Fate's head. So it's not only above his head that you can pick the card from. If you're looking at the destination, obviously you're not looking at Twisted Fate, but you can look at the taskbar, see your ability, and you'll be able to see which one you're picking. So as you see there, I used my ultimate, and as I used it, and as I clicked to go top, I then used my pick a card, and managed to pick the gold card. So I arrived with a gold card, but I had longer to use it. So we pick up another kill, and at this point it's just snowballing the advantage. So what we're doing is trying to push down turrets. You can see we've all got all 3 outer turrets down, and we're now just trying to group up, and we're trying to force the game. So unfortunately I pick a red card there, which is really bad by me. So I don't think we're going to pick up this kill. It's probably going to flash the wall. Yeah, okay, so that's kind of my bad. Now what I want to talk about as well is Twisted Fate builds. So there's 3 builds I think are viable at the moment. One of them is Twin Shadows, the other one is a Lichbane Rush, and the other one is a Hat Rush. So all 3 are good and all 3 are viable to start with, but they're good in different situations and different play styles. So in this game I wanted to take a more carry role, and because of that I rushed a Lichbane. Lichbane as a first item is incredibly strong. Okay, so we're just going to team fight here very quickly. Alice is going to go in. I'm just going to try and focus the nearest target to me while sticking at the back to protect Misfortune. So I'm going to pick a card and pick a gold card every time. And just to notice, I'm actually aiming my Q at the second person. So, okay, with that explanation as well, with my Lichbane, I thought the blue card would be enough damage because blue does enough damage to pick up Varus, but unfortunately I didn't get it. Didn't get the kill. But as I was saying, you always want to aim your Q at the person behind the one you're right in front, because chances are it's going to hit the person in front of you, but the targets you really want to hit, so the carries, are going to be the ones at the back. So if you aim your Q at them, you're probably going to hit a tank in front of you as well, but you will be able to hit a carry, which is more important. Now, as I was saying with the 3 builds, so Twin Shadows is good at catching people. If you rush it, then you can gank side lanes and there's literally no escaping you because you just pop your Twin Shadows. They have reduced movement speed. It gives you ability power and magic resist, which means you're a little bit tankier and you obviously do damage. It's a great pick item, but I do recommend if you're going to build it, you build it after a Sheen because otherwise you have no damage, and when you gank, it's pretty ineffective because they're just going to walk away because you've got no damage. Now, the second one is going to be a Lichbane Rush. Now, this is what I've done this game because I wanted more of a carry role, and it was because I wasn't playing Twisted Fate for lane, I was playing Twisted Fate for ganking. So Lichbane does an absolute ton of damage combined with your W, and it's really good at ganking because it just provides a huge amount of burst. So and then once you've got your Lichbane, you can either get a hat for more damage, or what I'm doing this game, I'm building a Zhonya's because I want a bit more tankiness, and I want to be able to engage as well. So our team doesn't have much engage because Xin Zhao can just E on someone, but it's not great. It's not a great speed up or anything. I didn't build Twin Shadows, so I can't engage with that tool either. So I'm going to build a Zhonya's and I'm going to port into the middle of the team, and I'm going to Zhonya's to gank here. Now, important to note that I do actually have my ultimate available, but I don't use it to go top because Renekton's already killed him, so there's no need. So right here, I'm going to, as you see, I use my cooldowns and I'm going to back straight off because I've got nothing left. As my W comes off cooldown again, I'm going to come back in. My mistake here is getting caught by the Malphite ult. I was ready to flash it, but I didn't have my flash available because I'm an idiot, so I got caught by that, and thankfully Lulu ult saved me. You see I only used barrier at the end where Varus came in because Ahri's a cooldown based champion, Malphite's a cooldown based champion, so they've all used their cooldowns. There's no more real damage output coming from them. I know I'm safe, but as soon as Varus came in and he ultimated me, I know that he's obviously not cooldown based, he's just going to auto attack me, so I barrier to make sure I can try and survive the damage from him. Now, as I was saying, the final build you can go with Twisted Fate is going to be a hat. Now, the hat is basically poke, wave clear, lane pushing. That's pretty much why you would rush a hat. So your Q does more damage, obviously, with a hat than a Lichbane because you're not using the auto attacks. So if you want to just poke people under turret, then a hat is better than everything else. I'm just going to speed this up while nothing's really happening. But if not, then a Lichbane is going to be better because if you in team fights, if you want to be carding people, then a Lichbane provides more damage. But if you just want to stay at the back and you're too scared to go and card people, then obviously spamming that Q is going to be better with a hat. So after these, normally if you get a hat, you want to get Lichbane next, and then you want to get a Void Staff. It can be the other way around if you really can't card people because their carries are so fed. With a Lichbane, you want to be getting a hat or a Zhonya's, kind of more utility build. And then if you go for the Twin Shadows, you 9 times out of 10 want to get a hat next because you'll be lacking damage mid-game otherwise. So right here, I'm going to rewind that very quickly. Sorry about this. I didn't expect the team fight. So we're just kind of poking around this turret now, and I know Malphite's got his ultimate, so I'm just going to get ready to flash it again. I know it's coming, so obviously I'm expecting it. Here it comes. I'm just going to flash it out. I'm going to come back and pick my gold card, and I'm going to gold card onto Malphite to try and slow him down. Now, as you can see there, I aimed my Q through the entire team. I didn't really care about hitting Malphite because he's the tank, obviously, but it's really important to know that when you team fight with Twisted Fate, sometimes single target damage isn't the best idea with him. It's going to be the AoE damage that he can provide with his Q hitting multiple people. So if you just want to aim it through the team, it does so much more damage than if you just aim it at one person and you get lucky if you hit other people. So always try and look at the second or third champion behind the first one, just to make sure that you actually hitting the most amount of people. Now in team fights, the card picking is pretty much straightforward. You want to pick a blue card if you're really far ahead and you just want a huge amount of burst damage. You want to pick your red card if you want to do AoE damage and slow the team. This is really good if you're chasing people or if people are like you're having an AoE team fight. Otherwise you want to pick a gold card and you want to catch people. Now gold cards are good, but it's kind of, you either want to use it as assassination or protection. So if you've got no one attacking your carries and you can't reach their carries, then just red card in the middle of everyone and do maximum damage. If you can, however, get to their carries and gold card them, that's great. And if someone's on your carry, then gold card them and make sure that they can't kill anyone. You'll see there that I did actually use my ultimate to go and take top turret, and that's because it's on a 100-second cooldown roughly, and there's like no immediate fight coming, so I knew that I could use it and it wouldn't affect the next fight. So we're just going to push mid now and try and pick up the win. This was a bit of a stompy game. Okay, I'm going to talk about that in a second. So I'm just going to gold card the closest target. Oh, blue card even. That's my bad. So I'm just going to try and gold card Varus here. I know he's not got no cleanse, so gold card's going to be the best pickup on him. We're just going to take this inhibitor, and we're probably going to get the game off this as well. So, as I was saying, this is a bit of a stompy game, but it was a stomp because we played well and I snowballed other lanes. My score's not fantastic, 5-8. Obviously, I had those 2 silly deaths, but I managed to snowball every other lane, and it transitioned into a win. Twisted Fate is really good at tower pushing with a Lich Bane, and it's one of the reasons why we capitalised on this win, because we just kept forcing turrets. Global objectives gives you a ton of gold, and thankfully we managed to turn that into a win. So thank you for watching. I hope this was, obviously it's going to be a little bit rough still, it's only my second one, but if you can leave some feedback for me in the comments below, that would be fantastic. Also give me an idea of who you'd like to see next. I will be doing an AD one next, and that'll be featuring either Draven or Varus probably, but if you want to see someone else, then drop it in the comments below and I'll have a look at doing that. So yeah, thanks, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.